Hola chicos y chicas, soy Arikat o espero otro lado aquí de hoy y básicamente yo lo voy para documentar mi vida. Hola chicos y chicas, my name is Arikat or spelled the other way to Boy and basically make videos document my life. Welcome to Love Videos Arikat, we basically videos about my life. So the past video that I just posted that was over a sermon I did, but now I'm going back into our guidebook, which is the 50 eye-opening meditations take a closer look for women, uncommon and unexpected insights to inspire every area of your life by Jan Kern. Like I said, I bought this book from the thrift store a while back. I think I only paid like $1 or $2 for it, but I can see from the old sticker it's originally from Family Christian store, and I think it was $25. Also, another woman I guess had this before I did, and she did write in here, so I do talk about her, some of her things that she talked about, as well as I connect them to my own. Like I said, I'm pretty far ahead in the book, so I do have quite a bit of the like the little daily things, meditations done already. So it's really just a reflection. I am going to say that this one that I am doing is quite personal. So if you feel like you're not up to learning some things about me, then I advise you to click off now. If you have not clicked off and you're willing to, learn despite of some things I may say in my Bible studies, specifically this one, then let's go ahead and continue. So the original date that I did this was October 18, 2015 at 3:10 p.m., in which that was a Sunday, and the topic is called Hiding from Love. The first verse that they have here for us to read is from Genesis 3:8 through 10 in the NLT version, which states, "Toward evening they heard the Lord God walking about in the garden. So they hid themselves among the trees. The Lord God called to Adam, 'Where are you?' He replied, 'I heard you, so I hid. I was afraid because I was naked.'" So now the next section, they have like the big picture section, so I'm going to go ahead and read that through. From the beginning of time, people have been hiding from God in one way or another. Amazing, the created hiding from the Creator. Out of nothing, God created. Each of the 6 days of his loving labor and design brought something completely new, magnificent, and alive. On the last day, God created Adam. He made him the keeper of a garden in Eden and told him, "Eat and enjoy the fruit of every tree in this garden, but not the fruit from the tree of knowledge of good and evil. You will surely die the day you eat from that tree." That same day, God also made a companion for Adam. Her name was Eve. He created both in his image with an honor. What an honor! And then God rested. No one knows how much time lapsed between that seventh day, the day of rest, and what came next. It might have been the following day that the serpent visited the garden. His name? Satan. He had once been a glorious angel created to worship God. Instead, he craved to be worshipped above God. Pride consumed him. He revolted and became God's vilest adversary. On that day in the garden, Satan launched his plan to strengthen his rebellion and destroy God's most beloved creation, mankind. Eve was alone. The serpent cunningly lured her with questions and lies that implied God was not to be trusted. Why obey him? Every tree but one? God holds back the best from you. Eat the fruit. You won't die. You'll become as gods, knowing good and evil. Don't you want to be wise? The fruit grew appealing to Eve. She ate it and encouraged Adam to do the same. Snap! The trap had sprung. At that moment, innocence died. Adam and Eve realized they were naked. And what? Sorry. Adam and Eve realized they were naked, and that, for the first time, was shameful. They twisted giant leaves around themselves. The foliage worked for their bodies, but not for their souls. When God walked through the garden toward them, Adam and Eve hid among the trees in fear. In answer to God's call, Adam cried out, "I heard you, but I was afraid. I am naked." God questioned him as to who told him he was naked, and if they had eaten from the tree. Did they disobey him? He knew they had. They knew it was wrong. Adam pointed to Eve. Eve said, "The serpent tricked her." Behind blame, the created hid from the Creator. And there's a little voice at the bottom, the little verse at the bottom that says, "Leave the broken, irreversible past in God's hands and step out into the invincible future with Him," by Oswald Chambers. So now I'm turning the page and I'm going to get started on reading the part that says take a closer look. Take a closer look. You see a lot of hiding and covering up going on in this story. Satan approached Eve first. Imagine her shame as she hid. Imagine her fear of punishment, possibly death. A closer look reveals that God came to restore the broken relationship. Eve didn't know it yet, but she was hiding from love. In Eve's reaction to hide from God with Adam, you see characteristics of an established relationship. She knew it was God walking in the garden. When God called out, she recognized his voice. Even more, she knew that she had disobeyed God. That mattered to her. On God's side of things, you see his pursuit. Yes, there would be consequences for Eve's and Adam's actions, many in fact, but at that moment he came in the cool of the day, the calm of the evening. He didn't charge into the garden, he walked. Though he knew where his beloved ones hid, he called out, "Where are you?" and gave them an opportunity to enter. In her nakedness and shame, could Eve respond with Adam, "I am here"? Could she come out of hiding when she... Sorry, I just went over that sentence. Could she come out of hiding? When she finally did, she found God still wanting to love her. Then at the bottom there's like a little quote that says, "God loves each of us as if there were only one of us," by St. Augustine. Okay, so now we're going into the apply it to your life section, which states, "It's amazing what shame can do to you. It skews your perspective and convinces you that you're disappointing and inconceivably bad. That kind of shame feels so awful. You feel you have to hide. It could be that the same enemy who distorted the truth and lured Eve may be whispering lies to you. Look at what you've done. See how you've hurt people, disappointed many. You're weak. You're worthless. Who needs you? Even God doesn't want you." This enemy will be delighted if you gave up. From the beginning, he has plotted to destroy God's design of you as a woman or man. He would be happy to convince you that you are hopelessly caught in the snares of your shame. But you are not. Listen as God slowly walks toward you, calling, "Where are you?" He pursues you in love. Hear him? "What have you done, my daughter or son, my beloved? Come, receive mercy and healing. You are worth everything to me. I cannot lose you." And then I underlined this next portion which says, "No matter what you've done, it won't stop him from seeking out a healing relationship with you." Shame is powerful, but it doesn't have to keep you in hiding. And then at the bottom there's a little verse that says, "Whenever we are in need, we should come bravely before the throne of our merciful God. There we will be treated with undeserved kindness and we will find help." Hebrews 4:16 CEB. So now we're going into the how others see it portion. How others see it. God's anger and love at the moment of Adam and Eve's disobedience are not in opposition to one another. In his book, The God Who Loves by John MacArthur addressed this. Quote, "His wrath is not inconsistent with his love. Because he so completely loves what is true and right, he must hate all that is false and wrong. Because he so perfectly loves his children, he seeks what blesses and edifies them, and hates all that curses and debasses them. Therefore, his wrath against sin is actually an expression of his love and his power. End quote. Matthew Henry, in Matthew Henry's commentary of the whole Bible, called God's question, quote, "Where are you? A gracious pursuit." Sorry, I just got lost. Hold on. Okay, Matthew's Henry's commentary of the whole Bible, called God's question, "Where are you?" a gracious pursuit. What he said of Adam also applied to Eve. Quote, "If God had not called to him to reclaim him, his condition would have been as desperate as that of fallen angels. This lost sheep would have wanted endlessly. Sorry, I'm really messing up words. Okay. This lost sheep would have wandered endlessly if the Good Shepherd had not sought after him to bring him back, and in order to that, reminded him where he was, where he should not be, and where he could not be either happy or easy." Now there's a portion at the bottom that says zooming in, and it usually just is like a little like bit of history for you to better understand what they're talking about. So let's read that. Zooming in. The Hebrew word used for the type of leaves Adam and Eve used to cover themselves is ta'ina, meaning fig. Some say the leaves came from a tree similar to an Indian fig, under which 50 horsemen might find shade away from a noonday sun. The span of these leaves is said to be that of an Amazonian shield. The location of the mysterious Garden of Eden has been investigated since ancient times. Two of its four rivers are still in existence today, the Tigris and the Euphrates. The only two are entirely unknown even in ancient history. Current thought is that the garden might be buried within what is now the Persian Gulf. So now we're on the portion of "Through the Eyes of Your Heart." There's a little quote at the top that says, "You are a woman of God's design. God comes to you with his love, calling you out of hiding, calling you to himself." The first question says, "What are some of the lies you have believed that that are keeping you bound in shame? As a woman created in God's image, what truths can you believe instead?" So I did tell you guys that this book was from the thrift store. So someone did write, a woman did write in here, and she said, "I'm ashamed I was weak. And wasn't strong enough to realize God didn't want me with," and then she put Josh, which I guess was her guy at that time. She said, "I thought God might be punishing me with this pain, while Josh is happy with another girl. He always said and was doing what God wanted him to." And then I wrote at the top, because I didn't scratch out her answer, I just wrote at the top, I put, "I don't dwell on it, but my engagement of 3 years to Sal and how it didn't work out, but also about my sexual promiscuity online with guys was also a mistake, but a learning experience. And now I have God to guide me." So when I was younger, I was like, never really had like friends and stuff. So I like turned to like, it really started off me wanting to learn languages. And I got on a course called Busu, and then I learned about the dark side of the internet and stuff like that. So that's why I kind of fell into some things that um it was really hard for me to get out of 3 years, because I was like, I tied those things that the people wanted me to do with friendship, and that's actually not how it's supposed to be. So it's hard to talk about it, but it's something that you need to talk about. So through this, like I said, through these little Bible studies and stuff, you guys will get to know a lot more about me and just the part I have not talked about on YouTube. Also, I want to say that if my voice sounds different, I recorded these different recordings at different times. So, like, I did the first couple of recordings like a couple of days ago, and now it's about a week later. So, now on to the next question. It says, "Sit in a cool garden and imagine God calling. Where are you? Are there ways you are afraid of him?" Okay, so I'm going to read her response, and it said, "It doesn't make sense. I was the one ready for a serious relationship, and he said he wasn't. But he's the one who started loving another girl. I don't get it. I wish something good like that would be sent my way. Why is Josh so blessed?" when he is treating people like he does, especially people who he calls friends. Okay, and then for my response, I put, I was young and didn't know what I was doing fully, and then I told her that I agree. So down to the last question, it says, I am here is a responsive step out of hiding. Can you trust God to love you out of shame, bringing you back into a relationship with Him? She put, I need to. God, I'm here. Please forgive me for my weakness. Please love me. And then I put, I agree. I don't want to go back to that place. And honestly, I have not gone back to that place. Ever since I've accepted God into my life, I have not gone back to that place. I mean, I still get on the website, and it's not the website. The website is good. It's very educational. It's just there's some people out here that like to take advantage of people who are not knowledgeable about such things such as young girls or young boys, especially when you first explore the internet and you find that dark path. Now I'm kind of guarded when it comes to things like sexual. Like, I'm a really sexual loving person, but that's why I'm waiting for marriage and things like that, just because of that past experience that I had, with thinking I had friends with people really just using me. So yeah, so to conclude our Bible study, I will just put those 3 questions in the description box, and I'll try to remember to put them in the comment section as well, so you guys can answer them or send them personally, and we can just have a big discussion at the bottom. If you want to know more, really want to know more about this, what is this one? The hiding from love section, I could definitely leave the verses and stuff at the bottom as well as the quotes, and other things such as that. So yeah, guys, I just thank you guys for watching, and you take care. And adios, chicos y chicas.